भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ. O Lord, please give us good health so that we shall see good, we shall hear good, and we shall do good. Om. Peace, peace, peace. Dear devotees, if you remember the earlier class, we were discussing the Prashnopanishad, 4th chapter. And also we were discussing the question from the Gargya. He had a question. The whole world is resting upon what? That was the question, 5th sub-question actually. So now we wanted to know the answer. So now in the 7th mantra, the question is, where does this everything is resting upon? The whole world is resting upon, or the world is based upon. Now if you see, even the science also is trying to find out the truth. Probably in our school days, we might have got this definition of science. What is science? Or what is the definition of the science? Oh, the science is search for truth. The definition of science is science searches for truth. And what is the truth? They also want to know how this creation started. Okay, the whole creation is nothing but the universe. Universe is made up of galaxies, stars, constellations, solar systems, and whatnot. But the world is made up of what? Is there one item or one component or one object by which the whole world is made up of? That's what even the science is trying to know. The same thing has been tried from the Upanishads or the Upanishad Rishis. They have also tried from one, the whole world is made up of what? And they have found out that is what the Atman or the self or the consciousness. But only the fundamental difference between the science, empirical science, and the spiritual science is what? For us, the matter has come out from the life. That is, the matter has come out from the self, consciousness, we say, and for them, consciousness is the product of the matter. Matter is important. From the matter, the mind and the consciousness has come. That's what the empirical science is trying to establish at right now. And for the Vedanta, the spiritual science says that no, consciousness is the supreme and the primary. From consciousness, the matter and mind has come. This is the two fundamental difference between the science and the spirituality or the Vedanta. Now, what is the 5th question? On what the whole world is resting upon. Now we can take an example like a sugar doll. Now in some celebrations, for an example, there's a celebration in a house, there is a function, mother has prepared sugar sweets. And she thought because there will be a lot of children coming, either relatives, friends, children, or relatives. So let me prepare sugar sweets. And she prepared sugar sweets because children are there. They may like toys like different shape. So she prepared like a parrot, a sugar sweet shaped with the parrot. Parrot with green, peacock, green mixed with a purple, then pigeon, maybe little brownish color, then something white color lamp or saffron color light lamp. So different colors and different shapes sweets has been prepared. Now, when the children came, so the granny or the old lady in the house, she kept the sweets in front of the children and she said, okay, my dear, whichever sweet you want, you can take. Now, someone said, oh, I like parrot. And one child took the parrot. sugar sweet. The other said, oh, I like peacock, so I want peacock shaped sweet. He or she, the child took the peacock. Someone took pigeon, someone took light, someone took lamp, someone took elephant, whatever it may be. Now, the granny is enjoying because the children are taking the sweets, and they are also enjoying. Now, the children are obsessed, are taken away, carried over by the shape and by the color. Now, for a granny or for the evolved mind, for all the, known people, they'll be saying, oh, either it is a pigeon shape and green color, whether it is a peacock shape, and whether it is a green and purple mixed, whether it is an elephant brown, whether it is a pigeon shape with a brown color, and whether it is a lamb which is a saffron color or any white color, it doesn't make any sense, because it is the content is what same, sugar alone. There are different type of sweets and different type of shapes with the different colors, but all of them, the one central point or the content is what, sugar. Once you remove the sugar, the all type of sweets, that were the sugar sweets, ceases to exist. Now the sweets have got a borrowed existence, and the sugar has got the independent existence. Now all that sweets, different shapes, okay, different colors, okay, but they are depending on what? They are resting on what? They are resting on sugar. If you remove the sugar from the sugar sweets ceases to exist. Now, if you remember this story, if you keep this in the mind, then we try to understand the seventh mantra, we will be able to understand the fifth sub-question also. Sa yatha सौम्य वयांसी वसो वृक्षं संप्रतिष्ठन्ते एवं हवै तत्सर्वं पर आत्मनि संप्रतिष्ठते परे आत्मनि सर्वं संप्रतिष्ठन्ते और संप्रतिष्ठन्ते परे आत्मनि, in the supreme self alone, the whole creation is been resting. So what was the sub question here? Where does this entire creation universe rest upon? So here the Pipilada, the Rishi, is telling to the disciples question, oh my dear, the entire creation is resting upon the Atman, on the self. Pare Atmani means self, not the Jivatma. Rather, it is a pure consciousness, pure self. Pare Atmani, Sarvam Sampratishtate. Not a small part, not one or two things or 10 things, everything. In the creation, you can say star, you can say galaxies, you can say solar systems, you can living things, non-living things, subtle things, gross things, visible things, non-visible things, microscopic particles or whatever, organisms, everything. So Sarvam includes everything. Sampratishthante. They rest upon Pare Atmani, in the Atman alone. Okay, here, what is the nature of Atman? Sat Chit Ananda. That we should keep it in a mind. Okay. Sa Yatha, Saha, that illustration. Now, the Rishi also is giving his own illustration to make this subtle point, difficult point, very clear. Saha, as I am going to tell that illustration, as stated in that illustration, as Yatha, as stated, Soumya, oh gentleman, oh good looking one. So he's praising the disciple here. Vayamsi. Vayamsi means birds actually. As the words Vasovruksham Sampratishthante. Where the birds rest upon, the birds resting upon, the birds are lodging upon, the birds are living on trees actually. So the birds are just like the birds are living on the trees. So similarly, the whole world is resting on, living on, or lodging on the Atman or on the Brahman. Now, how, okay, the bird is resting on the tree, we can understand. They have built the nest, they are staying on there, they take rest, they hatch the eggs, they lay the eggs, they hatch the eggs, they leave there, okay. Even some trees, they give fruits and all, so they can eat the fruits and they can stay back. And all we can understand this example, but how the self also is resting upon the Atman, and how the world is resting on the Atman. This can be the one big question. Now that let us try to understand. So we can take an example of the dream one more. Now, I went to bed and had a good sleep for deep sleep for some time. In between, in the whole sleep, I had a dream. Okay. In the dream, I had an experience. I went to office. I met my colleagues, I met my manager, I met my boss. Then we had a meeting, we had talks, we had some exchange of thoughts, and we had a exchange of hot arguments, and we had a pleasurable moments also, good time and all. And we had a good lunch also, beautiful lunch. I had prepared because we had a meeting. They had prepared a good lunch. We had a lunch. And afterwards, we had a good chat after the meeting. When we came out, we had a hearty laugh and chat with the people or with my colleagues and meeting some new people and getting new projects. Everything was there. And that was all experience I had in the dream. Now, alarm rang or my sleep broke. I got up. Then I see there is no office, there are no colleagues, there is no food, there is no drinks. I mean, there are no people. Then, but my experience was there, no doubt. In the dream, there were people, there were things, there were places, different places like office place or a kitchen or dining hall, and there was also a lot of experience and feelings. Now, who has taken all that? The mind has taken the role of experiencer, experience, and the experienced. I was experiencing eating the good pasta. Delicious pasta was there, say fruit salad or vegetable salad. So that is object of experience. The mind has taken the role of even the object of experience or the experienced. Then I'm enjoying the fruit salad or vegetable salad, and the experience also has taken the role of by mind, and the experiencer, the mind has taken. So the mind has taken all these three roles, isn't it? Now, was there really existing? The world was existing? No. Only it was resting on the mind. Mind has taken the role. What about the experiencer? Same thing. The experience also same thing. So similarly, this waking state is also like a big dream actually. Now, the question can come for all of us. Yeah, Swamiji, we can understand in the dream state, yes, the experiencer, experience, and experienced, all the three roles has been taken by the mind, we can understand. But it is very difficult to accept or very difficult to swallow the idea that even the so-called waking state is also like a big dream and it is similar to dream experience. It is very difficult to understand or comprehend. Yes. Now, you had a dream experience and whatever you went to office and you were experiencing, then fortunately or unfortunately, Shantivratananda came in the dream experience and I said, oh my dear, whatever you were experiencing, the office and eating pasta or eating, enjoying the cool drinks or enjoying the fruit salad, it is all dream, my dear. There is no reality. You may say, maybe Swami, best, but please you allow me, let me enjoy the fruit salad. Then I said, okay, all right, all the best. And I came out. I came away. Then you were enjoying the fruit salad because that is very real for you at that given point of time in the dream state experience. Then when you came out from the dream state to the waking state, then you understand. There is no need of Shantivratananda saying that it was a dream and there is no reality. Yourself you understand. Why? Because you are away, you are out from that dream state. Now you can understand, oh my dear, it was only the dream. In the dream, you got a beautiful project, but again, it was only a dream. There is no reality. Now, we are staying in the waking state and we are trying to negate the waking state. That is what the problem is. When we are in the dream state and if you try to negate, it is difficult. It is a Herculean task. So similarly, we are staying in the waking state and we are trying to negate the waking state. That is where the problem is coming. And that's where when the scriptures say this is also like a long dream, big dream, we feel difficult. Then what to do? When we go to Turiya state, the fourth state, that is the when we experience our real nature, or when our ignorance is removed, when we understand, yes, even the so-called waking state is also like a big dream or long dream. That we will understand and we will understand and experience and get firm conviction from the whatever we hear in the scriptures basically. That's where in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad it says, Atma vidam eva eka magra asit. There is only one thing was there and is there, will be there. That is what? That Atman. And in the Mundaka Upanishad, which is from Samaveda and Atharvana Veda, even the Prashna Upanishad also comes from Atharvana Veda. So both are very much linked actually. So even that Mundaka Upanishad, the Rishi says, Brahmai Vedam Sarvam. Brahma eva idam sarvam. Whatever exists in the world, everything is what? Brahman. Everything indeed is what? The Brahman. Okay. So the world is which is superimposed on the Brahman is only experienced through our minds. How? One more example I can give: snake on the rope. In the olden days, we never had electricity. So we used to use lamps and all. In the some corner of the house, we used to use ropes for to fetch the water from the well and etc. And there was a piece of rope in the corner of the house. There was not complete darkness. There was no complete light also. So little light, and I was going to washroom and I saw a piece of rope, and suddenly I got mistook the rope as a snake, and immediately I started shouting, there is a snake, there is a snake, there is a snake. So I went and I searched for a stake, and I went to beat it. I went to kill the snake. Unfortunately, when I go near, then I understood, oh my dear, it was rope, not the snake. But when I felt that it is a snake, what happened? I had a BP. My BP got increased. My heartbeat got increased. My emotions got disturbed. I was fearful, as if the snake might come and hit me or beat me and I may die. All reactions were there. And my experience of snake at that given point of time was also real, no doubt. But the moment when I went near, or someone brought the light and they wanted to see, and they told, oh my dear, that is a rope, not the snake, then all my reactions got subsided. So same thing, just there was a snake rope alone, but we mistook it as a snake. So same thing we are also happening with that. And we can also give the projector screen. The projector screen is common, and the projection, there are so many projections is happening. There was a light incident, there was a fire accident, and there was a water, there was a torrents, and all these things. All these things. But finally, what happened? Finally, what happened? The screen is constant. There was no change of the film. So similarly, like that, I am that Atman which has given the existence, lent the existence to the entire world, that has been given in the seventh mantra. And how that sarvam pratisthate, sarvam pare atmani pratisthate, everything is what resting upon the world. You are understanding. Now the question may come, okay, if I understand, what happens? The moment when you understand everything is what resting on the world, I mean, everything, the whole world is resting on the self, and self alone is real. When you understand, then you don't suffer, you don't get perturbed, you don't get carried over. You don't get carried over. For an example, I gave a example of a sweet toy. There was a parrot shaped sweet. Now, two children wanted a parrot shaped sweet only. They started quarreling. Children started quarreling. Then Granny said, oh my dear, whether it's a parrot shaped or pigeon shaped, what is that? It's a sweet. You eat it, same thing. So don't worry. But we children, we might have quarreled. Oh, no, no, I want parrot shaped only, parrot shaped only. As if that is the real. At that given point of time, when when we grow, we understand that whether whichever shape it may be, there is no problem. So same thing, when the situation comes and goes, when the world and its objects, we are always obsessed with that. It is creating happiness and it is creating unhappiness also. But actually, the world cannot create happiness, neither nor unhappiness. It is only our reaction. So when you understand the whole world rests on the Atman, what happens? If you really understand, then your reaction towards the world subsides, it stops, it reduces. I'll give a simple example. I think I had given this example. When I was in India, in the monastery in the Mysore, I was odd out there. When there is any discussion about ice cream, I was odd out. Because most of the monks, we had 20 monks, I think 18 or 19 monks were always either they were fond of vanilla ice cream or they were fond of butterscotch ice cream, or if not mango, but not the chocolate. And I was the only one person who was fond of chocolate ice cream. Then if someone gets chocolate ice cream, I used to relinquish, I used to enjoy, thank you and all. Others used to say, oh no, it is chocolate ice cream, it is a bitter or whatever. Okay. Now I am enjoying chocolate ice cream and someone gets vanilla. I say vanilla is okay, but it is very plain. Maybe eating just like a powder or whatever. Now there are few sadhus, few monks who used to enjoy, relinquish vanilla ice cream. Now for discussion's sake, now someone is enjoying the vanilla ice cream and I am enjoying the chocolate ice cream. Chocolate ice cream is giving so much happiness to me. For someone, vanilla ice cream is giving so much happiness to him or her, him, especially your monks. So now the happiness rests in the vanilla ice cream or in the chocolate ice cream or in me. Actually, it is me. I am superimposing the happiness on the chocolate ice cream, and while enjoying the chocolate ice cream, I am thinking chocolate ice cream is giving happiness. No. Similarly, the other person, because there was no other way, the monk is eating chocolate ice cream and he's thinking, oh, chocolate ice cream, it is not at all good. So for me it is good. For me it is a joy, object of joy. For him it is not at all good and it is object of punishment or object of sorrowness. So chocolate ice cream is giving for one person joy, for other it is giving either neutral feeling or it is for unhappiness. How it is? So chocolate ice cream itself, it has got neither joy nor neutral experience nor unhappiness. It is only our reaction. Because I like, so it gives joy. Because I don't like, it doesn't give joy. So everything is what superimposed. So the whole world is resting upon Atma when you understand that you stop reacting to the world. Then what you will start doing? This too shall pass. You will understand this too shall pass. You accept and you can be happy. This too shall pass. When we are unhappy, when we hear this too shall pass, very nice, very nice. This too shall pass, we will accept it. But the happy moments also will pass. This also you have to remember, this too shall pass. There we say, Swami, this too shall pass is okay for unhappiness or a sorrow moments, but not for joyful moments. No. So these two shall pass for both. When you are able to understand, accept, and assimilate, then you will go to the blissful condition, Ananda. That is what my real nature. So when you understand the whole world is resting on the Atma, what happens? You will be happiest person. Because the whole world has got a value because of you. The whole world is either happy or unhappy. It is because of your reaction. Because you are giving the existence. Now, before getting into the next mantra, you may get a question. Even I did get question when I was studying Upanishads long back. And all these things are fine. It makes a very great statements Upanishads are making. You are explaining nicely. Why can't we say it's an hypothetical argument? Is there any scientific basis? Is there anything rationality? Of course, there's a rationality you can understand. Is there any scientific basis? Yes. Even today, quantum physics is definitely, it is accepting these things. I will probably, without going to too much details, in the layman's language, just I will try to explain this with one or two experiments on the basis of one or two experiments. There is an experiment called observer effect. In the observer effect, which is called slit experiment. Slit experiment like this, there are two slits, two holes. These through holes, either the electrons or the photons are pushed or allowed to pass through that. So in the observer effect, what happens actually? That's called double slit experiment or whatever. When these tiny particles, microscopic particles, of course, like photons or electrons, when it has been pushed through these slits, what happens? If you are not observing, now some mission has been on and the electrons or photons are emitting and there is a slit experiment, there are slits and no one is observing. If no one is observing, what happens? These photons or electrons, they start behaving like a waves, it seems. And they start like behaving like a waves and it creates like ripples in the water. Okay. Now, the photons or electrons are passed through the slit experiment or slits and no one is observing and they behave like a waves. Okay. Now I or you or XYZ comes and stands and he or she starts observing. What happens? Then the photon starts behaving differently. When you start observing, then they behave like a tiny balls. The photons and electrons, which are supposed to be non-living, microscopic, when a observer observes these photons or electrons, they behave like a tiny balls which go straight, and if no one is observed, then they behave like a waves, it seems. So based on this, they say nothing exists in the definite form in the world. Everything is what observed. And for them, they say, the scientists say consciousness is fundamental, and universe needs a knower to be known. Consciousness is fundamental, and universe needs a knower to be known, it seems. And Schrodinger, David Chalmers, all of them argue consciousness is not an emergent phenomena, rather it is a primary or foundation. So today, even the quantum physics is also trying to understand, trying to accept, yes, consciousness is a primary fundamental thing. One is that. Second thing is that the whole world is depending upon the knower or the observer because it is known. I think one more Nobel physicist laureate called Eugen Wigner, I may be wrong in the pronunciation, he also explains that I is not only mere observer, it is not only observer like a measuring device or a camera or whatever, rather it is the human consciousness that causes the particle to choose a position. So like this, so many things are told in the science also. So you, the Atman, are the light by which the world is known. Without you, there is no world. That is what he says. Okay. Now, eighth mantra, let us try to tell. Now, in the eighth mantra, that is the commentary or that is the explanation of the one word called Sarvam. Sarvam Atmani Sampratishtate is better. When you say Sarvam, Sarvam includes what all things can be included, has been told in the eighth mantra. We shall try to understand. Prithvi cha prithvi matra cha आपश्चोपमात्रा च तेजश्च तेजोमात्रा च वायुश्च वायुमात्रा च आकाशश्च आकाशमात्रा च चक्षुश्च द्रष्टव्यञ्च श्रोत्रञ्च श्रोत्रव्यञ्च घ्राणञ्च घ्रातव्यञ्च रसश्च रसयितव्यञ्च त्वकश्च स्पर्शयितव्यञ्च वाक्च वक्तव्यञ्च हस्तौ च आदातव्यञ्च उपस्था च आनन्दितव्यञ्च पायुश्च विसर्जतव्यञ्च पादौ च गन्तव्यञ्च मनश्च मन्तव्यञ्च बुद्धिश्च बोधव्यञ्च अहङ्कार च अहं कर्तव्यञ्च चित्तञ्च चित्तयितव्यञ्च तेजश्च विद्योतयितव्यञ्च प्राणश्च विधारयितव्यञ्च. Now, the whole world is made up of, according to the Vedanta, the whole world is made up of 5 gross elements. Ether, that is ether, then fire, water, air, and element. Okay. And these 5 gross elements is come from 5 subtle elements. That is Shabda, sound, Sparsha, touch, Rupa, form, Rasa, liquid, Gandha, smell. These are the 5 subtle elements. So the whole world, universe is made up of 5 gross elements, and these 5 gross elements has come from 5 subtle elements, and these 5 subtle elements has come from the Atman or from the consciousness. Okay. Now that has been discussed here, and afterwards this we have got in the Tattvabodha, all these things I've discussed in detail. So, and we have got 5 sense organs of action, that is Karmendriya, 5 sense organs of knowledge, that is Jnanendriya, then Pancha Pranas, then mind, Antakarana called Manas, mind, Chitta, memory, Buddhi, intellect, and Ahankara, that is ego. All of them, which is part of subtle body. The subtle body, the gross body, and this whole world, which is made up of 5 gross elements and subtle elements, everything has come out from that one component or one thing, that is what I or the self or consciousness. This is the overall purport or the meaning of this particular mantra, 8th mantra. Now let us try to understand in detail. Prithvi. Prithvi means earth actually, not earth planet, rather it is a soil. That is the gross form. And what is the subtle form? Prithvi matra. or the earth rudiment, the from which the earth is made up of, the subtle part, that is what gandha here. Tanmatra we say, gandha tanmatra, or the smell. Then apaha, apamatracha. Apa is water, and the rudiment of water, that is what the rasa. Then tejaha, fire, and tejo matra, that is the subtle part of the fire, that is the rupa or form. Then vayu, vayu means air, and vayu matra, that is sparsha, touch, which is called. Then akasha, ether, and akasha matra is what the sound. Okay, now all of them has come from what? Has come from the Atman. Means the whole universe, the visible universe and the invisible universe, or the subtle universe, the both universes, subtle visible universe and invisible universe, has been emerged from the Atman. Why? The universe is made up of permutation combination of 5 gross elements, and the 5 gross elements has come from uh, 5 subtle elements, and the 5 subtle elements has come from the Atman, or from the Ishvara. Whether you accept Ishvara or not, at least from Atman you can say. Okay. Now, this whole world is experienced by the experiencer, and the world is an, if the world is an part of experience, that is an object of experience, and there's an instrument of experience also. Now, if I am enjoying the ice cream, how I am enjoying the ice cream? Ice cream is an object of experience. I am enjoying the ice cream through the taste, through the my tongue actually. That is what the instrument of experience, and I am the experiencer. The experiencer is the self, experience and experienced is also the self actually. Now, after the elements, now the Rishi is giving the list of 5 Jnanendriyas, 5 Karmendriyas, Prana, and 4 Antakarna. Now, let us try to tell. Now, one more interesting point here is how our Rishis are so scientific. How this whole world is made up of, they're able to tell, and how many 5 sense organs of knowledge is there, 5 sense organs of action is there. Based on our function, our mind has been divided into 4 parts. The prana, the energy, the life force has been divided into 5 parts, and all of them, and what are the constituents and what are the functions, everything they are aware. So because many times we say, oh, our Vedas, Rishis, they are only carried over by rituals, and they are carried over by spirituality alone, we think. That may be central point, spirituality, no doubt, but they were rational also. They thought about this physical universe also. They were rational also. They were logical also. They were scientific, with scientific temperament also. That all things we can understand here. Now, 5 Jnanendriyas, they are giving the list. Chakshuscha, chakshu, eyes we can understand, eyes, the organ, and rupam. The eyes can perceive what? The form, rupam, isn't it? The perceivable universe, we can say, or object of sight. Shrotram, shrotavyam, ear and the object of hearing. We can hear sound, we can hear music, and all the audible, whatever audible basically. For example, you made it just a sound, even it is audible. So whatever is audible, or whatever heard, whatever will be hearing, whatever will be heard, or whatever is hearing, everything you can add. Then grahanam. Grahanam means your nose actually. And nose, what does it, I mean, what do you say, perceive? It is only smell, because nose cannot perceive the form. Nose cannot hear the sound. Nose can only perceive the smell. So grahatavyam, the object of smell, that is smellable. Then rasaha, that is tongue, and rasaitavyam, the object of taste, or everything is tasteable. Then tvaka means skin, sparshaitavyam, the object of touch. So all Jnanendriyas has been included here. Now the list of 5 Karmendriyas will be given by the Rishi. Now vak, tongue again. See, this is the only organ which plays dual role. Jnanendriya and Karmendriya. That's right. If you control your tongue, our health is good, our relationships are good, we can be very happy. Why? Because if you can control your tongue, that means you have got a control over your food. I may like some particular food, but if I eat, my health goes problem. Or is diabetic. I like sweets, but if I eat sweets, my sugar level shoots up and I get a problem. Now, some rasgulla or some sweet is there in front of me, cake is there, pastries, I like so much, but if I eat, I'm diabetic since my sugar shoots up. So if I can control my tongue, I can control my health also. And if I can control my tongue, then my speech is controlled, relationships is better, relationships easily maintained, and there will be no unnecessary problems. So tongue is very, very important. So tongue has got a Gnanendriya role and the tongue has got also Karmendriya role. Here Gnanendriya role is what? It perceives the taste, bitterness, sweet, spicy, hot, cold, all these things. And the tongue also plays a role of speech. So here that's what saying that vaktavyam. Vak is what? Here tongue, jivha, it was told. Here now they are saying vak, it is a tongue, and vaktavyam, the organ of speech. Now, hastav adatavyam cha. So they are using a dual sentence, hastav, two hands. Adatavyam, which can be held, which can be hold, which can be handled. Whatever is can be held, hold, handled. All type of objects basically. Then upastaha anandaitavyam. And if you know Sanskrit, here every word beautifully they are used, you can enjoy actually. Upastaha means organ of reproduction, organ of generation. Anandaitavyam, through organ of reproduction, whatever you enjoy, all that is included here. Payu visarjitavyam means anus or organ of excretion, then visarjitavyam, whatever is been excreted by your body as unnecessary things. Then padau gantavyam, 2 feet, and the place where one can reach by walking basically. So these are the 5 karmendriyas, organs of action has been told. All sarvam means sarvam includes 5 gross elements, 5 subtle elements, 5 sense organs of action and its objects, 5 sense organs of knowledge and its objects. Okay. Now, antakarna has been told. The mind based on the function has been categorized into 4 parts. What are that 4 parts? One is manaha. One is mind. Among the mind, manas, the one more is called manha. What is that manha means? It is a doubting faculty. He is right person or wrong person? I doubt. Should I take this or should I not take this? So we keep on facing this type of this. The doubting faculty is called manaha. And our feelings, emotions, everything comes under this manaha. Okay. Oh, this is good for my health. I can eat. Oh, this is not good for my health. I should not eat. So this is a deciding faculty. So that is called intellect or buddhi. Buddhi bodhavyam. Manaha mantavyam. Mind and the feelings and emotions. Buddhi bodhavyam. The intellect and the knowable or thinkable or object to be known. Then ahankaraha, aham kartavyam. Ahankara means ego. I. Someone scolds me, I get immediately reacted. Why? Because my ego been hurt. If someone praises, I am happy. Why? Because my ego is satisfied. So that object of ego. Then chitta, memory. I've got lot of memories, good memories, bad memories and all. Once we become old, we are unable to sleep. Why? Because our mind is getting filled with lot of trash. As a result, I am not able to sleep properly. When we are children, we are able to sleep. No problem. And when we slowly, when we grow, our sleep gets problem. Why? Because it keeps on adding memories, unnecessary memories. Chittam memory, chetayitavyam, that is world of memory. Okay. Then one more interesting word, Rushi here asks, tejaha. Here teja means not the fire. Teja means the skin brilliance, like aura we say. Sharira Kanti, you can say in the Sanskrit, the luster which is on the skin. Vidyota whatever has been illumined by that light. Now, all these things are being held by Sutratma or Pranaha or Hiranyagarbha. Vidharaitavyam. So the prana is holding all the sense organs of knowledge, action, what you say, the manas and everything is like a string or the thread which is holding all the pearls in the necklace together. So that is called prana, and how it is holding in the first chapter we have seen. Okay, all of them are resting on Atman, or all of them have borrowed the existence from the Atman. That is what the author or the Rishi is telling. When you say Sarvam Pratishtate, Sarvam Atmani Parayatmani Pratishtate means what does this Sarvam includes? All these this includes. Okay, now the same idea has been also extended in the 9th mantra. Yesha hi drashta Sprashta, Shrota, Grata, Rasayita, Manta, Bodha, Karta, Vijnanatma Purushaha, Sapare Akshar Atmani Sampratishtate. Separe Atmani Sampratishtate, same thing has been told. Okay, all these things has been also, what you say, resting upon the Atman. So here they are saying Vijnanatma Purushaha, Vijnana Purusha. So here basically they are given, we can give an example like sun, and there is a reflection of sun in the water body. Because of the reflection of the sun, you can might be see like a circle, or you can see some light in that. And if there is a scorching sun, even the water also gets little heat. Sun, the reflection of the sun in the water, and water is also getting heated. And water looks like very dazzling and all. Now the dazzling nature comes from the sun actually. And the water is getting little heat also, that is also from the sun. Okay, keep that in the mind. Now let us try to understand the, what you say, shloka. Now, pare atmani sampratishtate. Whatever we are going to discuss, whatever has been enlisted, everything is been resting upon the Atman. Okay, whatever that we shall try to see. Yeshahi, this self, okay, drashta, seer. Okay, I am seeing something. See, experiencer. Seer means here experiencer. I'm experiencing so many things. I'm knowing so many things. Sprashta. I'm feeling the cold. I am feeling heat. I am feeling happy. I am feeling unhappy. All these things. Then Shrota. I'm hearing so many things. I'm hearing. Fine. You will understand all these things. I don't think you need a lot of things. Then Grata. Grata means smelling. Okay. Then Rasayita. Rasayita means tasting. Then Manta, thinking. Then Bodha. Bodha means ascertaining. Okay, this is what it is. Bodha man, Bodha. Then Karta, the doer. And everything is what? Depending upon the Purusha only. Pare akshari atmani sarve pratishtati. So just like the reflection of the sun is depending on the sun, the dazzlingness of the water is resting on the depending on the sun, the heat, whatever it got, little water got heat, that also depending on the sun. So similarly, the actions and all these actions also depending on the sun. That has been told in the ninth mantra. Now a question may come. Okay, Swamiji, all these things you are telling now, fine. Now I understand. I accept. If I experience, what do I get it? Does my bank balance gets increased? Or do I get promotion or whatever if you ask? Then the result of this Atma Gnana or the self-knowledge has been told in the 10th mantra. Let us try to understand. So what do I get by studying Vedanta? What do I get from attending Upanishad classes? What do I get from studying Upanishads? If you ask, this has been told in the result of the study of Vedanta, putting into practice is been told. Paramevaksharam pratipadyate sayoha vai tad achayam ashariram alohitam shubhram aksharam vedayate yastu somya sa sarvagnaha sarvo bhavati tadesha shlokaha. Okay, so it is simple. Paramevaksharam pratipadyate. Okay, pratipadyate means he attains here. Who attains? Param eva aksharam pratipadyate. One who knows this reality and one who experiences this, he attains. What he attains? Param eva aksharam. He attains that akshara. He attains the self. He attains that Atman or Brahman. Saha yaha avai, yaha vai. One who has become free from all desires. Now I am a millionaire. Do I be free from all desires? No. Am I happy at all times? No. Am I free from worries? No. More money, more problem can come, isn't it? But such person who attains this immortality or who attains that akshara, immutable or the Atman, he is so yahavai. He is free from all type of desires. He is free from all type of wants. He is free from all type of dualities. So first and foremost, if you experience the Atman, you will be free from all wants, free from all dualities. Just like tad achayam. So the nature of that Brahman or Atman is what? Achayam. Because that Atman is free from shadow. Here free from shadow means it is free from ignorance, free from Karana Sharira. So what is Karana Sharira? Then I say care of Tattvabodha class because I cannot tell all these things now. So ashariram, devoid of a body. Devoid of a body means devoid of subtle body. Then alohitam, devoid of qualities like redness. Means redness is resembling or symbolizing the blood actually. So it is alohitam means devoid of a subtle, a gross body. So devoid of gross body, subtle body, and causal body. So that is what the self. Then Shubhram. I am not only devoid of these three bodies, and that Atman is what Shubhram. It is the embodiment of purity. Embodiment of purity. Aksharam. It is immutable. No one can destroy it. Nothing can destroy it. Saha sarvagnaha bhavati. He becomes omniscient. And saha sarvaha bhavati. He becomes everything. Because there's only one thing, Atman. So there is no two things. As a result, there's only one thing, Atman. He becomes Atman means what? His ignorance is removed actually. He doesn't attain any new thing. Only the ignorance is removed. So the same thing has been told in the Rig Veda mantra. So because this is part of Atharvana Veda, so he is quoting, Rishi is quoting to substantiate his argument from the Rig Veda, because Rig Veda is the oldest and it is the first Veda. From that, other Vedas have borrowed a lot of things. That is the reason he is quoting the Rig Veda mantra. The same idea has been told here. So just let us try to understand. विज्ञानात्मा सह देवैश्च सर्वैः प्राणाभूतानि सम्प्रतिष्ठन्ति यत्र तदक्षरं वेदयते यस्तु सौम्य स सर्वज्ञः सर्वमेवा आवशेषति. हे सौम्य, हे gentleman, हे good looking one, or oh intelligent one, यह तु वेदयते. He who knows this reality, sarvam atmani pratishtate. Everything is established in the Atman, everything is depending on the Atman, or Atman and Atman alone exist, consciousness alone exists. For them, what happens? Tat aksharam, that is that immutable akshara, yatra, where or into which, Vijnanatma. Vijnanatma means the Jivatma, the embodied self. Pranaha, organs and other sense organs and etc. Bhutani, the five gross elements, five subtle elements, everything. Sahadevaihi, and also the preceding deities. Sampratishthante, they all merge in that. Sarvagnaha, Saha Sarvagnaha, he becomes omniscient, and Avisheshaha. And Sarvam Avisheshaha, he enters into everything. That is what the Atman or Brahman. Means from the world, from the Atman, everything is come out, no doubt. Once you understand that everything enters back, means what? You will not have any more birth and death. You will be a free person. So you will have no more birth, no more death, no more bank balance. I have to come again, take birth and again go to kindergarten school. I have to do things and etc. Everything will be ended, and he establishes in himself. He attains the immortality because his real nature is what? That akshara, immutable, that is been attained by this. It is not only my statement, it is also the Veda statement, Rig Veda statement. That has been told in the 11th mantra. That ends the 4th chapter. From next class, we will try to understand the 5th chapter and the 5th question. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu. Any questions?
Maharaj, my question is more, I'll take backtrack, like one of the old classes you mentioned that a river loses its property when it goes and mixes to an ocean. So a river is river when it is on its path. So if we think of ourselves as consciousness and we are going or traversing towards the path of meeting that super consciousness. So where is this universe lying? Is it on the consciousness it's lying, or is it on the super consciousness it's lying?
Okay, good question. So the question here is, so for example, when the river is merging in the sea, so the river is what? Individual consciousness or individual self, and the sea will be the supreme self. If so, then the world is resting upon the individual self or the supreme self. That is your question. Now, there is no difference between individual self and supreme self at all. The water in the river, the water in the ocean, both are water only. Essentially, there is no difference between the river and the ocean actually. From the content portion, actually, the sea water will be salty because of the because of some other reason. Okay. Now, if you see from the content of the river and content of the sea, what is the content of the river? Mainly water. The content of the sea is what? Water only. When there is no essential difference between river and sea from the point of content, similarly, there is no essential difference between individual self and the supreme self. Because the supreme self is made up of what? Or what is supreme self? Satchitananda. What about individual self? It is also Satchitananda. So there is only one thing called self, or you can say Atman, you can say Brahman. We use terminologies differently at different times, but there's only one self. Either you can say Atman, you can say Paramatma, you can say Jivatma, or you can say any other thing. There's only one. So the whole world is resting upon consciousness. The whole world is resting upon Atman. Now, the immediate question will come, then why am I struggling that? If I am the consciousness always, then why am I struggling? Now, the Upanishad itself very clearly tells it is very simple and straightforward. Oh, my dear, the bandha and moksha, the bondage and the liberation, it is both for the mind, not for the self. Because I am self, I was self, I am self, I will be self. If so, then where is the question of spiritual struggle? Where is the question of spiritual sadhana? And what is where is the point of this all these sufferings and strugglings and controlling things and attainment or moksha, mukti, everything? The moksha and mukti is what? The losing of ignorance. It is not nothing you are attaining new thing or achieving new thing, you are only losing. What is that losing? Losing the ignorance. And this ignorance and the liberation, again, it is only for the mind actually. That's what, when the moksha or mukti, when you attain, what happens? So when we pass away, the sukshma sharira, which is the cause for my next birth, the sukshma sharira gets disintegrated. When there is no sukshma sharira, when there is no mind, then there is no question of my birth, next birth. Moksha, mukti, what happens? Your sukshma sharira gets disintegrated or gets destroyed. When your sukshma sharira, the subtle body gets destroyed, then karna sharira is also no more, because karna sharira, because ignorance is not there. Ignorance is not there, karna sharira is not there because of no ignorance, no individuality, so-called individuality which is exists in the mind, that is also not there. Then where is the question of my birth, rebirth? Isn't it? So thus, bondage and liberation, it is only for mind, not for the self. Only we say that, I mean, it's a limitation of the language. We say that, oh, I want to achieve realization, I want to get moksha, I want to get mukti. It is a limitation of language, we say, because when we are using I, we are representing to the body, mind, and etc. That's the reason we use it. But actually, for Atman, there is no bondage and there is no liberation. The bondage and liberation is only for the embodied self, or Jivatma, or for the mind alone. Yeah. The moment when you understand I am the self, then you are liberated. When you understand, means when you experience. You might know now, but there is a ignorance always, even now, isn't it? Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Any other question?
There was another question from the observance effect,
Mm.
which you are speaking about, this quantum physics side.
Mm.
So when you're doing that slit experience
Mm.
experiment,
Mm.
you specifically mentioned that the photons appear to behave in a particular manner when they are not looked upon, when they are not observed,
Mm.
but it does differently when they are observed.
Yes.
So two use cases.
Yes.
But how are we saying like they are behaving in a some particular way when it's not observed? Because to document that someone has observed that,
No need of it. You can put a video recording.
but still like someone is observing that video recording.
Yes. See, this is an interesting point here. Okay, for an example, there is a slit experiment. Now, slit experiment has been put, and the photons or electrons has been pushed, and it has been automated, and no one is there in the room. For an example, in the closed room, we are doing it, and no one is there, but there is a video recording. Webcam recording has been kept. Now, webcam is seeing it, but still, since there is no observer, the observer means living entity, I mean to say, a living personality. As a result, it starts behaving like a wave. Now that has been recorded by the webcam or by the video what do you say? That's why I use the word. When I say observer, it is not like a camera. I think I made a statement. I don't know whether you could. So when I say observer means it is not like a camera. So the camera can be put it for a recording. So recording has been done. So there was no person. Since there was no observer, living person, so it started behaving in a different fashion like a wave. But when a person started looking and the photons and electrons started behaving like a tiny balls. So they also are able to recognize someone's presence and absence. Living person's absent and absent, which is quite interesting, you see. So that means we are trying to tell even the protons and electrons also have got consciousness. Isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So here Jagdish Chandra Bose, beautiful thing is, Jagdish Chandra Bose was very much influenced by Vedanta. Jagdish Chandra Bose, when he told the plants has got life and the plants has got nerves even including, people laughed at him. Of course, now we have accepted everything. So that is the effect of Vedanta. That's what Vedanta is trying to tell. If you ask, the stone has got consciousness, I say yes. Then why stone is not able to feel? We say there is only no reflecting medium called Sukshma Sharira is not there. That's why it is not able to feel the life. It is not able to feel the consciousness. In the dead body, consciousness is there? Yes. Then why it is called dead body? Because there is no Sukshma Sharira. There is no subtle body. So that's where consciousness is omniscient. There is no place where there is no consciousness. Yeah. Okay, good night.
Okay, thank you so much.